I've learned to never set goals without the 10x rule in mind. So grab your cup of tea and let's dive into it. I've been setting goals diligently for well over 10 years now. Some of them I would achieve and some of them I wouldn't. And it wasn't until I read Grant Cardone's The 10x Rule that I finally understood why. Today I want to talk about my top 3 takeaways from the book, including the biggest mistakes of goal setting. The 10x Rule is one of my favorite books, and I recommend it to all of my personal brand coaching clients because it truly changed the way that I approach goal setting. It's the reason why I'm able to easily publish over 100 blogs on my website every year. So let's dive into what the 10x rule is. The 10x rule in its simplest form has 2 key components. It is to set goals that are 10x greater than what you think you can achieve, and then to set actions that are 10x greater than what you think is required. It sounds simple, but it's really significant because it will help you to overcome what the most common mistakes of goal setting is. So let's dive into what those are. The 10x rule highlights that there are 4 common big mistakes when it comes to goal setting. The first is to set goals that are too low. Then to underestimate the actions, resources, money, and energy required to achieve those goals. To aim to compete instead of dominating is the other mistake. And then the final mistake is to underestimate the resilience required. The book highlights that while some people can sometimes overestimate what they might achieve in a year, overall, we tend to underestimate what we can achieve in a longer time frame, say for the next 5 years or the next 10 years or more, and we set goals according to that mindset. As the 10x rule highlights, when you set goals that are too low, this creates an insufficient level of motivation. So with low goals and low motivation, you are likely to have low outcomes. You're likely to miss the already low bar that you have set for yourself. But with high goals, you create a higher level of motivation and you're more likely to achieve higher outcomes than what you would when you set the lower goals. So this increased level of motivation heightens your likelihood of achieving your goals. In goal setting, we're so often taught to set realistic goals, but a counter mindset to this reminds me of Apple's Think Different campaign, where they said, "The people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do." So fittingly, the 10x rule is not just about changing the way that you act in terms of your goal setting. It is about changing the way that you think about your goals. The 10x rule is not about being average. It says, because average assumes incorrectly, of course, that everything operates stably. People optimistically overestimate how things will go and then underestimate how much energy and effort it will take just to push things through. So the idea of thinking big and setting big goals and big actions is what is going to help you to push through when things don't actually go to plan, because you have this heightened mindset to be able to overcome the obstacles that might pop up along the way. My favorite takeaway, number 2 from the 10x rule, is the idea of dominating, not competing. The 10x rule highlights that this idea of competing is setting yourself up in a loser's game, because there is always going to be people that you perceive as doing better than you are, and you set yourself to be stuck in this comparison trap. But when you, on the other hand, think about dominating in your game, this is setting you up for a winning game, because the competition then becomes irrelevant. It means that you have found your unique white space in the marketplace and you are taking massive action in that space. For example, if you are a salesperson, this might be about making more sales calls than what is the norm in that industry. If you are a content creator, this might be about out-creating the competition. Using this massive action strategy, you automatically put yourself into another category. The big winners don't compete or copy, they set the pace. they lead the pack. And of course, with this massive action mindset, this can cause the potential of burnout, and it goes against a lot of the slow productivity mindset that also has a lot of value as well. But what I like to keep in mind is sometimes the people that promote slow productivity more than anyone, or having a more hands-off approach to their work or their goals, are often the people who have already achieved a certain level of success that allows them to have that mindset or to have that lifestyle. And what they talk about less when they get to that level of success is that it is the massive action mindset and strategy towards their goal setting that allowed them to achieve that lifestyle to begin with. So while aspiring to slow productivity and a more hands-off, relaxed lifestyle may be an amazing goal to have, it might be something that you will be able to enjoy in the future once you have first taken this massive action strategy approach to then be able to achieve that lifestyle. The key with the 10x rule is to also find things that don't necessarily feel like work and feel more like the pursuit of a purpose. This is the idea of hustle culture meets finding your why at its best. The book also highlights the value of being obsessed with whatever your purpose or your pursuit is. It says, until you become completely obsessed with your mission, no one will take you seriously. Until the world understands that you're not going away, that you are 100% committed and have complete and utter conviction and will persist in pursuing your project, you will not get the attention you need and the support that you want. Now, many people argue that winning isn't everything, and the book proactively addresses this, and it says that obviously this is true. Winning is not everything. I imagine you care more about your family and your friends and hopefully your health more than you do your goal setting. But the idea of tapping into the 10x rule is about trying to unlock the potential that you have to contribute to the world and to achieve success in whatever your definition of success is, and to not actually limit your potential. It says, as long as you are alive, you will either live to accomplish your own goals and dreams or be used as a resource to accomplish someone else's. The book highlights that in this game that we are all in, the losers will complain about the game that they are in, while the big winners will set their own rules. They'll change the game. They will create a new game that they can dominate in. My favorite takeaway, number 3 from the 10x rule, is to overcommit and over-deliver. There is the popular saying, to under-promise and over-deliver. It's the safe strategy. It ensures that you will meet expectations. We are told to set smart goals, goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. But by doing this, we limit the potential of our thinking. We're only thinking in the realm of what we currently know is possible, instead of trying to push that boundary of what we think is possible into new dimensions. So having to ask yourself, what does it mean to over-deliver in a space that you were already feeling like you were over-delivering in? It allows you to have to think about all of the new possibilities that lie beyond that current barrier or that current comfort zone that you might be in. It pushes you beyond what you currently think is normal, and it is going to heighten your innovation in whatever it is that your goals are. So set goals that are 10x greater than what you think you can achieve, and set actions that are 10x greater than what you think is required to achieve them. With goal setting in mind, check out my previous episodes on the habits that might be keeping you stuck. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next episode.